night, and we do have a few questions in the regard. We're mostly going to try and focus on the original. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, I have a question, and if I can ask you all to answer this one at a time, that would be fantastic. On the set, did you feel the strains and stresses of the film going over budget? How did it affect you as actors?
No, I really didn't feel that stress. I wasn't on as long as everybody else was. There was some... and you read about all the stresses later on. I didn't realize it was just another movie going on at the time. I just remember the stress of the smoke. There's a lot of smoke in that.
I felt the stress. I came on last in the movie. They had to get everything done in the short time that I had to do it. And at the end, when Zora dies, and I had one shot at doing it. And Rutger had a scene after me, and they were closing the shop down. And at the end, when I pressed the squib when I was dying and the blood came out, I had to press it exactly on my mark. There was not going to be a retake, and the sun was coming up, and it was really frightening. One shot at it. And we never got to shoot the snake dance, but I did do it years later. You can look forward.
It's called What Might Have Been, folks. It's a fantastic homage to the Zora character, and if you get a chance, it's really a delight for all the fans. Please.
I didn't feel the stress of getting behind a narcissist who only thinks of himself, and so I didn't pay much attention. But I had to wear 2 hours of makeup, and as it got hotter toward the summer, that was a problem. But I was just happy to be there. That's all.
Hello? Hello. I knew everything that was going on in this movie all the time. I knew it was $45 million, and I knew Michael Dealey was really afraid that we were going over budget, and I used to ask him all kinds of questions all the time. And then I even talked to him after the movie came out, and I said, so how did it do? And he was really disappointed that it didn't make $1 gazillion million the first weekend, but he got over it after about 10 years.
Yeah, sometimes that's what it takes, you know, a lot of pressure. And I pee my panties, but that was all.
Thank you. I was actually going to ask about Michael Dealey next, but Ms. Young already mentioned Michael Dealey, so past that. What was it like working for Ridley Scott? He's been called the actor's director. How do you feel about it personally?
Personally, I love the guy because I started as a street extra. He wrote that whole thing offhand. That was my very, very first line ever in movies, Home Again, Jiggity Jig. I'm very lucky because I can say that to a director in an audition, and the guy's eyes go wide and go, oh my God. And many times that's a cue to actually I get the job because I've worked on Blade Runner and with Ridley Scott. So with me, we had a great time sharing scotch in the rain many times.
I had a great time. Ridley took good care of me. I felt like he was very into how the women in the movie looked, and went to great lengths to make all the work beautiful, even the extras. The end result is I was really very pleased. I thought that Zora became something that was never on the page, and I thought that Rachel, Chris, Zora really rocked.
That's okay.
Grateful to work with him, especially when he gave me some fun direction, whispering in my ear. He once said, "This is a totally innocent man." That's liberating, whether it's a lie or not. And he's a saint. That's what that
manipulative cocksucker. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding, Ridley. No, he kind of isolated me. I thought it was kind of difficult. He kept me in my little trailer or my little wooden box all the time and wouldn't let me come out, so that I eventually had to bribe the second assistants for a radio so I would know when they wanted me, so I could rush back to my little box and pretend I'd been in it for the last 2 hours. So yeah, no, he's a great guy. I love Ridley.
This film means the world to me. I'm sure you understand why, but there are more reasons. But I could make a documentary about that, really. He made me dance, and I think I made him dance too when we shot the movie. And we were about, the only two who had a less of a bad time. I didn't have a bad time in that movie at all. Of course I feel distressed, but that's, you need that sometimes, It needs, if it wasn't for Ridley's stubborn, whatever, vision, this movie wouldn't be here. And I think it's great that it's still there for 40 years or so. So, he's a rock, what can I say?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We need some questions from the audience if we have a microphone too. Promise that we get some.
Absolutely. I'll go out there 1 second. I do have one question while I'm making my way out to the audience, if that's okay. What was the single most inspiring lesson you all learned while working on Blade Runner, either as an actor or something more visceral? What did you take with you?
Don't fucking give up.
I'm going to go out to the audience because I see that look, and I know what that look means. I'm going out there now. If anybody has a question, could you please put your hand up now? Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm going to do it. So, you introduce yourself and then state your question.
Hi, my name is Tim from Boston. Welcome to Wintercon. My question, I guess, is for Joanna and Rutger, specifically. Back in '82, tattoos weren't really regarded as they are today. They were a little kind of sorted. You saw someone with a tattoo, you might cross the streets, get away from them. Joanna, you had a tattoo on your neck. Back then, no one was putting a tattoo on her neck. And Rutger, you also had some tattoos. What were they?
The idea of the tattoos were that they were like plug-in points for all kinds of shit. High-tech shit, whatever. But because the tattoos in the rain, the lighting washed out the tattoos, so you never really got to see them other than in pictures. But it was like plug-ins, shit here, that sort of stuff.
Okay, we have another question in the audience.
Let me answer your question. The tattoo, yeah, it was very new at the time. I mean, tats are quite normal now. And Westmore was the makeup man at the time. We played with that tattoo to make sure that the snake was flattering. Didn't give him a chin and didn't look bad, didn't look weird, but it was really a piece that I was very proud of, actually. That was really cool.
It was your snake, right? It was your snake. The real one. Okay.
Okay, say your name and state your question.
So I'm Mike from the Bronx. Harrison Ford played a hero in Star Wars, was in Raiders. Blade Runner comes out, his job, escape applicants, you gotta take him in. By the end of the movie, it's like the lines are blurred, okay? Who exactly is the good guy? The good guy is the guy shooting unarmed women. He's taking down, basically escaped people who just want longer lives from something that wasn't even theirs to begin with, or they were just created for specific purposes. At the end of the movie, do you feel like there is no real hero, or is actually Roy the real hero because he's the one who becomes human at the very end?
I'm not sure what the question is. Could you restate the question? Do we have comments about Harry?
No, I was going to say, at the end of the movie, the one character that becomes human really is Rutger Hauer's character. Everybody else is basically, your job's to kill him, okay. And by the end of it, actually, Rutger's character has compassion at the end, which is something you really don't see from the rest of the movie. There's no real empathy except for Rutger's character. I was just wondering, was that a review?
It's a good review.
Well, speaking of the tattoos,
We agree. We all agree.
I have one memory. I remember watching the movie and then seeing Rutger come on screen with that dove. And I thought, where the hell did that dove come from? I had no idea where it was from. I was like, who came up with the dove? So I want to know where the dove came from. Did you think of that or did Ridley think of that?
Yeah. No, I thought if Ridley likes the idea, I saw in the script, and I saw him shoot it, I think, that Deckard on his way, when he escapes, gets through this cage with doves. And I thought, well, Roy has to have been there. And so he could have taken a dove. He likes toys and all. So if Ridley likes that idea, and then in the end, if he likes the idea, then I just don't talk a lot, but just let the dove go, that might work much better. So that's where the dove came from. The funny part was that the dove, in my mind, the dove was the Oscar winner, okay? We limited a lot of the dialogue because it was bullshit in the end, and we made that play. But here's the thing. It was cold, the dove was in my hand, and I don't know if it was because it was cold or my hand was too warm. But when I let go of the dove, I did my 3 lines, and then I went, okay. And then the dove went, no, he walked up. He just hopped on the roof and walked up. So, God bless him.
Mr. Howard, do you think that you should be credited for...
I definitely feel, animals need credits, absolutely.
Do you feel you should be credited as a writer, given that final scene? And perhaps
as an actor, best performance by a dove.
I understand the writers were quite envious when you did finally make that speech. They were quite awed, in fact. Now, speaking of lines, of the different versions, because we all know there's several different versions.
There are more versions than you even know. There was more footage that never got seen, and maybe no one will ever see it. I mean, there was a violent scene in Kill Bill, right? Didn't you?
I know quite now, but I love to die under the clock. So I was disappointed that I was killed off screen.
Is that empathy?
How did you die? Because we never did quite see.
It's narcissism.
That's the killer.
That's Rutger, he did it.
We shot for a week on killing the father, right? And that was, let's say, it wasn't easy. It was beautiful, but it wasn't easy. But that week, we heard 2 things from the studio, basically saying there's one scene we don't shoot, and it was one of my, for me, it was a key scene. When Roy kills his father, he then says to Sebastian, take me to the real guy, because it was a front. Then we go up to the real guy, and the real guy is frozen in a pyramid of ice at the top of this pyramid. That was the scene. So he's been dead for 4 years, and it's a big secret. My hair still stays up because I love that idea. But they thought it was too expensive and not important. What it does is that Roy never was a really bad guy. He kills who he needs to kill, and that's program, but someone I felt so shitty when I heard that I had to kill him because of this. And so I took his jacket as a memory on him, but oh fuck, you know, I was like, that sucks, man. But had to do, you know, didn't make it. So yeah, I was really pissed off about that one.
If I'd have been you, I wouldn't have been too disappointed because you have enough balance, and why keep doing it? If I were playing your part, I would have been happy to kill him off screen, whatever in the hell that means. I know what it means. It's all up here.
Now, Mr. Hauer mentioned just now that Roy only kills when he has to kill. And it's been said that the way the Blade Runner is set up, that Harrison Ford is actually the villain and Roy is actually the hero. It's a point of view, I guess. And I mean, I actually want to ask Miss Cassidy, he did, after all, shoot you in the back. An unarmed woman. He shot an unarmed woman in the back. How do you feel about that?
That was the whole point that Ridley wanted to make. I don't know why. Say why. But anyway, it was a cowardly act for a man to shoot a woman in the back like that. And I think Ridley wanted it to look like that. He didn't, at that point, didn't want a lot of sympathy for Harrison, but I remember doing that take, which I wish you had seen the whole thing. We did that take leading up to the glass. I must have ran over the cars, ran down the thing. You see Harrison coming up with a gun, and I took a fall at least 40 times and loved every minute of it. I was going to make that moment last. It was really cool.
Fantastic. I have a question for Ms. Young. Now, having worked with, I murder his name every time I say it, Denis Villeneuve, and knowing that he's now in production of Dune, can we hope or possibly expect to see you?
Well, given my luck in Hollywood, I bet against it, but yeah, Denis great. He was fun to work with in 2049, and I've already emailed him and said, can I be in Dune? And haven't heard back, so your guess is as good as anybody's.
Well, actually, while I have you, on various Facebook groups, you'll see Polaroids taken on the set of Blade Runner. On you, and yeah, are those in your private possession, those pictures? Fantastic. I was wondering where they were, where they came from. Now we have some questions.
I did the first selfies.
You did. I have some questions here from some online fan groups. Jay Healy of Blade Runner Worldwide Fan Group asks, before 2049 was written, did they each personally ever envision reprising their role in a potential sequel? So before Blade Runner 2049 was even a thing, did you ever think about reprising a role as a replicant in another Blade Runner film? Anybody and everybody.
Everyone here died, except me. So
I didn't.
You didn't die?
No, I didn't die. I'm still just walking around going home again, home again.
Yeah.
Waiting for JF to come home. Man, he's just in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Real estate agents come in. It's time to go. It's time to go.
It kind of would have been nice to have you in the next one.
Yes, please. Yeah, from your lips to God's ears, please. That'd be great.
Right, exactly.
I think all of us would like to because it means more work.
I think there was only one person. I mean, except Harry, he lives. There's only two people who live, so I think in their mind, if you're dead, you're dead. That's how you prize them.
I can't speak on behalf of Jay, but what I'm assuming is they meant because you're replicants, you can be replicated. They were asking if you could come back.
Well, I had one comment to make, and that was when they were doing the second Blade Runner, I said, you could have me back in a little scene because the replicants were designed after humans So you could have me walking through as the human that I am today, just an old woman, and it didn't happen, which was a little disappointing, but there you go. So I could have been in. So maybe they'll make it.
Okay, thank you. Reese Deloy of Blade Runner, which is actually the name of the group, Blade Runner asks, how did they get the cigarette smoke to look so good for Rachel's VK scenes? How many cigarettes did really make you smoke to get it right?
We had to, well, Rutger smoked those jetons back then, remember? Those thick cigarettes. Belmont or something like that. And I tried one puff of those, and he wanted these thick cigarettes, kind of fat stick cigarettes, so they had to take that out and put like light Carlton tobacco in it so I could smoke them. And we smoked a lot. Anna Marie or Mariana, the script supervisor, Bouillard, yeah, you had these massive cigarettes, and he liked the look, so we had to switch the tobacco. And then Marie, the script supervisor, would tap, make a sound when we were working, and that was, the sound was what I was supposed to match the smoking. So there was a bit of smoking, but oh well.
It's amazing we're still all alive.
Perhaps you're all replicants.
No, I want to say something about, this always comes up, and it's funny, I think that all the versions of Blade Runner play, it really depends which one you saw first, because the first one hits you the hardest, and you can't even see any other version after that without being polluted already. But I think they all play because the story is so about everything, and it's not about people. It's not about the good guy and the bad guy. It's about who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? That's what it's about. And I'm happy that this film carries me for 40 years. It's amazing. It doesn't get... It really... If you want to define success for real, that's it, and it doesn't get better. It doesn't. It's...
You should read Rutger's book. Some of the questions that you ask, he answers it. Thank you for mentioning me and saying something nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all the proceeds go to a great cause. Maybe you would like to mention that cause too? Would you like to mention the cause that all the proceeds go to? Your AIDS Foundation,
Read about me.
I'm doing something for AIDS, for women with AIDS. I wrote the book for it, it made no fucking money. And the whole idea was that the money that it would bring would go to that cause. It didn't. So we try. Every little thing we try. And you can only try a few things, without being tactful.
It is a great book. I'm knee deep in it right now, actually, and I found out some amazing things. Like the great relationship you had with Sylvester Stallone, for instance. But you'll find out when you read the book. I have another question here from Monica Hintz of Wayland Utah Bulletin, and she asks, if you prefer the 2019 you conceived with Scott to the reality of the 2019 that we see here today, or did you imagine it would be anything like it is now when you were filming the 2019 of then?
Do you go into when we worked in India? Yeah, because I see Hyderabad. Rutger and I made a movie in India, and the producer decided to sue one of the Indians, but didn't have the print of the movie, so it got mysteriously lost, and it never came out, and we worked 3 months on it, and I was like, and then I left 4 days before 9/11, and you guys got stuck there, right? Yeah, none of them could leave, but even so, the movie never came out because one of the Indians had been discovered as getting kickbacks, and it got kind of humiliated, and then somehow the print disappeared. So I see Hyderabad in the back of this, so you must have been writing about that. Yeah.
Mr. Sanderson, I have a question for you. When Chris and Roy kiss in front of you, is your motivation jealousy or discomfort of the fact of the intrusion on them kissing? Were you jealous that Chris was kissing Roy instead of you?
I'm jealous of everyone. I'm very insecure. I overstep boundaries of insecurities. But I was thrilled to be in the scene with them. And, you know, you don't feel like you're acting, you just feel like they're real. And to this day, I'm thrilled to be in the scene. Wes, I don't think I answered that question. Jealous? I'm jealous of every man that has a movie career with me.
As the bear, I was jealous that I was jealous that she wasn't cuddling with me.
Okay, and
I'm sorry to be facetious with a nice question. I remember how beautiful they were both inside and out. She drew me some pictures of our characters, which I treasure. And supposedly it said something nice about me, which is more than something else. This week there was nothing real. I don't care if the crew didn't bow. Doesn't happen. I want to hear him say it again. It's basic chance. Move.
fair enough. All right. I do have someone in the wings here that's dying to ask you a question, and I want to present to you Tank. Ladies and gentlemen, Tank is here.
Thank you. First, I would like to say I was outside DJing as Nexus 6, and I had the distinct honor of Mr. Hauer coming out to eat his lunch while I was working. Didn't want to disturb him, so. Anyway, we've discussed the question of the tattoos, which I find the answer fascinating. But Rutger, if I might ask, in your mind, as we know there's several different versions now of the movie, like 24 at this point, what is the line? Is it I want more life, father, or I want more life, father?
I never improvise on the spot, but I had the guts to take 5, as I said, after my life. And of course, it didn't get into the first. I don't know which version it sort of started to show up again.
Take 5, I love it. Also, if I may, the line that I'm a big fan of, firing the angel spell. Could you explain a bit more about that?
Well, it was in the script. It's a famous poem by a famous American writer. It comes from classic American poetry, which I knew. And I liked it because it gave me, I liked that because it makes no sense to have a robot being poetic. And I like the fact that Roy doesn't understand what the hell it means. But I also like that in the end he ends up creating his own poetry by mistake, because the batteries run low. I don't want to be too funny about it. All in all, it's all an illusion about who you are, but the question of the film says, who the fuck are you? And I guess the next question for Blade Runner 2 was, what does that really mean? Which I think is interesting. And I don't think they answer it. And I really don't think the film answers who the fuck are you anyway. But I think it's really interesting. The whole thing about artificial intelligence is really, it's something we should study that a little bit. Play with it.
Thank you very much. I'm going to hand this back over to Will.
Thank you, Tank. All right, we probably have time for a couple more questions in the audience. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, fantastic. Heading my way, heading up to it now. While I'm on my way out there, I want to ask the panel, anybody can answer, anybody wants to pick up a microphone. What is your favorite costume in any particular scene? Do you have a favorite costume?
I had, even though Bear is the one that I was credited for, I did a stunt where we were like 4 street urchins and stunt guys walking in the rain. It was very tough doing that, being drenched, wet, smoke at 3 o'clock in the morning. But being the tough guy, actually, that was my favorite outfit.
Kevin, how long did it take you to get in costume? You had a very elaborate costume.
My costume of Bear?
Yes.
Bear it was tougher trying to get those dang stockings on. That was the toughest part. You know, I don't have long supple legs of a woman. I have like short chubby legs, and it's tough to get those white stockings over those things. So that was the toughest part. Then they just stuck that head on me, and so that was. So that was it. That was actually the tougher outfits was when I was out in the rain, because you would have a rain gear underneath because you're going to get soaking wet. So that you could stay out in the rain longer, you would have a raincoat underneath your outfit to make you look a little bit chubbier or just bigger. But it also kept you a little bit in rain. But then you still get wet. You're still miserable at 3 o'clock in the morning because we're all shooting nights.
Yeah, it's just miserable, you know. We've got miserable jobs. Somebody's got to do it.
I had it the worst. I don't care what anybody says. I had to stay standing all the time. They got a leaning board. In the old days, they used to have these leaning boards for Joan Crawford, and the board would be like that, and it would have something for your arms, and they made you do that so you wouldn't wrinkle your costume. So that was really annoying.
For me, it was getting used to being in pasties and a crotch thong, and being, I mean, there were some other women that were naked around me, but it was challenging, to say the least, to be in that. And actually, the makeup took about 2.5 hours every time I came in, all in sequins. But it still was my favorite outfit.
You were the one they remember. Costume, I believe, was his name Kaplan, Michael Kaplan, Charles Miller, British guy. Apparently he made a coat for my character, and it made me feel like a court jester, which made me feel more secure. And noticed he didn't show my hat. I didn't ever see it until we were shooting outside the Bradbury building. I never liked that, but I was a very good boy, did what he said. I like a beret, but that thing was an ersatz beret, but it's held up all right. And, they have a saying, you put the costume on and get out of the way. So we had good ones. I hope some of that made sense, because the rest of what I said didn't.
We have a question here in the audience.
Hi, my name is Matt, and first of all, of course, you folks have created, perhaps, in my opinion and the opinion of many others, the quintessential science fiction masterpiece. Everybody from science fiction writers to scientists have been polled and put it at the top of the list. And with that in mind, I'm wondering, is there a particular, when you look at the finished movie, is there a particular scene that you did that you're most proud of? And if there isn't one particular scene, is there a particular moment from making the movie that you enjoyed the most?
Deckard, ladies and gentlemen. Rick Deckard here.
Doing my best.
Did anyone ask a question?
So it's one of those questions. What's your favorite moment in the movie? And it's such a, for me, it's ridiculous to answer because the whole movie for me is a thing for a lifetime. For me, I learned so many things from it, and I found my true talent and all kinds of shit that you don't need to know, but it's really important for an actor. And of course, the last minute in the movie was crucial then, and because we didn't know what we were doing and if we were getting something there. And it flew. It keeps flying. And that's how can you not enjoy it? I mean, I just explained it at the beginning. It is absolute bliss. That's what it is. It's lightning. That's what it is. And to be part of that, be the tool for that is like amazing. That's all. So, okay, no more fucking stupid questions.
The gentleman did say that the film is studied, its existential aspects are justified and quantified and brought up in seminars and colleges, and people write dissertations on this film. And in closing, I just want to say, in closing, I'd like to thank you all, personally, from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of the greater fan base, and the organizers here at Wintercon, for all your contributions towards what is for all of us one truly perfect moment in time. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, please.